Hello and welcome to the Grianaig Creations podcast channel. This is episode 80. My name is Kirsty and I am coming to you from Paisley in Scotland. Happy New Year! It is the 1st of January 2022. We are off to a good start here. Well, actually we had really horrible weather like from midnight onwards until about 6 o'clock this morning. It was torrential, and now we've just got high winds, so it's not as bad, and it is nice. Like, we have natural daylight, and I've just looked at the sun and now I've got that spot in my eye. So yeah, how did you celebrate the new year? Did you celebrate it? I was in bed for about 11:30, stayed awake talking to Scott, and then the minute we got to the bells I said Happy New Year, rolled over and went to bed. I don't normally stay up for the bells. I'm not that age anymore. I would much rather be asleep, but there we have it. So I am recording downstairs again. I just think this is a better place for recording, better light, because the window is literally right in front of me. Also a bit more interesting behind me. Now I'm realising you can see the bottle of Fireball behind me. A cup of tea. I'm not going to let that go cold. I just made it. Should be nice. So yeah. Oh, you can just make out Chewbacca. He was sitting on something, so he was a bit higher, but I moved it. So first off, apologies if you are a bit against swear words. I'm wearing a top with the F word on it. Apologies, but not apologising. This is my F Crones t-shirt and I love this top. So I've not long recorded a whip parade. I completely stole that from Deborah of Diary of a Physicist Farm Gal. I said it right on the whip parade video. Now I can't say it. Completely stole it from her. If you haven't, go watch her. I love her to pieces. She is brilliant. I honestly hope one day I can meet her in person and I can just give her a big hug. I really, really love her. Again, seriously. Up from my baby. My phone's been off all morning with all the Happy New Year wishes, which is brilliant, but when you're recording. So yeah, if you haven't watched her, go watch her. I will link her podcast right below, and then if you want as well, I can probably link her Instagram. I love her to pieces. She is brilliant, but I had 100% stole her whip parade video, which I watched twice yesterday when I was working. So I have just recorded that, hence why I'm in exactly the same position, exactly the same hair, and exactly the same top. Do you like my fluffy hair? This is it just drying naturally. I kind of smooth down the sides and the back, and then I just kind of let the top do whatever it wants. And I love it. Okay, so we have finished objects. We have works in progress. We have plans to cast on new things. Let's start with an elephant that is no longer in the room. There has been 2 blankets that have been 100% finished and left the premises. I finally got my blankets finished for my goddaughters. They have been gifted. My oldest goddaughter loved her blanket, or at least that's how I took it. And I wrapped her up in it when she saw it, and I think it's just going to get better as she gets older and she realises like the time and the love that really got put into that blanket. I'm hoping she might become a crafter one day just like her mum. Really hoping. And then Erin was a little bit too young to know what was happening, but she seemed to appreciate the blanket, and her mum definitely appreciated the blanket as well. I also gifted a ton of socks. I say a ton. 6 pairs of socks to my best friend, but you have seen those over the months. So those were technically not works in progress or finished objects, but 2 blankets, fully finished, completely ends woven in and everything, and I will insert the footage of one of the blankets finished right here. It's finished! I got it done! It is 2:15 in the afternoon. I've just got all the ends woven in, every single one of them. I'm so happy. I really hope my goddaughter loves it. Even if she doesn't appreciate it just now, hopefully she'll appreciate it when she's older, when, you know, blankets are actually wanted. I just have to unpin this one and start weaving in the ends of this one, and hopefully I will have it finished by the time they leave tonight. I'm not going to get it finished before they arrive, but if I can get it finished before they leave, I will be extremely happy. But to get this one done, I'm really, really over the moon, because I was getting a bit stressed out and feeling really bad as well that she should have had this last year, but she didn't. So yay, it's done, woo! Oh, probably shouldn't shoot the camera, sorry. Yay! So, I finished a couple of other things for Christmas gifts. Technically one isn't here, but I made one that was a little bit too small, and that was the hat from my mum. So this is not the hat that my mum has. Oh, there's a magpie outside. Morning, Mr. Magpie. Yes, I am that superstitious. So this is the first one I made. Oh, the camera shadow is gonna annoy me. So this is the first one I made that was just a little bit too snug for my mum. And so I cast on another one with an extra repeat of the pattern, and she loves it. She already has put a pom-pom on it and she's already wearing it. So this is a spare, technically. And it does, I was going to put it on, but I like my hair the way it is today. I don't want to flatten it. So I'm going to see if this will fit somebody else. It does fit me, so I might just keep it. But yeah, so it's not the one I gave my mum, and I think you have seen this one, but it's the exact same pattern and it's the only thing I have, and I don't think my mum wants her face on YouTube, so I'm not going to insert a photo. And I didn't take a photo of the hat before I gave it to her, so this will have to do. And then I got Scott's mittens finished. These have been worn. They need a bit of shaping. What did he do to these? So I got Scott's Hail Hydra mittens finished. And I'm going to insert the clip of Scott opening these on Christmas Day, because, long story, I decided to try and get these finished secretly without him knowing, to surprise him on Christmas Day. And he saw me working on all these other projects, like the blankets for my goddaughters, and the hat from my mum, and then projects for myself, and he wanted to bring up the mittens to find out when I was going to finish them, but he didn't. He didn't do it because that's rude, and he's a gentleman. So he sat wondering why I was working on all these projects and not his mittens. And then Christmas Day comes around, I give him his pile. I'll insert the footage. I give him his pile of presents, but I keep the mittens separate and I hide them so he doesn't see them. So he opens up his gifts, and then he's just like, okay, your turn. And I was just like, nope, still got one more. So I pulled out this gift from behind a pillow and I gave them him. And he was so touched that I had tried to successfully work on these mittens without him knowing. And it actually brought a wee tear to his eye. He's going to be so annoyed that I've told you that, but he actually was kind of like, because I was recording him, he was just like, okay, stop, because he was getting a wee tear in his eye, so. Sorry. Open your gifts, babe!
All of these, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Shockingly that you know about this one.
Oh, my step-born Blockies.
They arrived.
Quick. Wow.
They said it was going to be like up to 9 business days, and then they arrived like 2 days later.
Colouring in! Yay! I forgot we got this. Okay, I think. Oh. A secret present.
I've been working secretly on them so that you didn't know I was going to have them finished for Christmas.
Oh, babe. Thank you.
Like, so on my lunch breaks and when you've been going up to bed during your early shift, I've been pulling them out. And whenever I've been on lunch and you've come home, I have had to speedily put everything away, including the pattern, so that you had no idea that they'd be ready.
Oh.
And that's why I'm recording.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So they're done. He loves them. I'm trying not to get the camera shadow in them too badly. These are a free pattern on Ravelry. I don't know if you can get them anywhere else. I have had this pattern for a couple of years now. I've made... This is maybe my 6th pair. I made a pair last year for Scott's friend for his Christmas. I have made a pair for an old work colleague. I think I have a pair upstairs. And then I think there's been at least another 2 other pairs that I've done. If not, I know of definitely 1 other pair that I've made. So maybe 5. I do love this pattern. It really does go very, very quickly. I love this band at the bottom here. And then if you have watched my whip parade video, I feel like my colour work struggles when you get sections, like longer sections, and you have to carry your floats. When it gets to the smaller sections, I feel like my colour work is really, really good. Like, tooting my own horn, I know, but when there are smaller floats and less gaps between changing your colour, I feel like my colour work is really, really good. But then I feel like it starts looking very patchy, like you can see it here, where I have tried to catch the floats and it just doesn't look as good. So I need to work on my colour work and see if there's something I could be changing to make it better, or if that's just basically everyone's colour work when it comes to longer sections and longer floats. So that's it for works in progress. We will move on to whips, and there's really not that many that I've been working on. If you want to see all the whips I'm carrying into 2022, please watch my whip parade video. I will link that down below, or you can just go onto my channel and you'll find it there. I have a lot of whips that I'm carrying into 2022, but I have only been working on 4 whips. And now that I mention one, I don't know where I put it. Is it under here? Where is it? That's my finished objects. They can go on the couch. Okay, that's one. Where did I put it? It's a sock project. Shock horror. Nope, not in there. Where can you hide a sock project? Okay, that's a whip. That's a whip. Not a whip. Okay, I had it. I swear I had it. Intermission. Intermission over. Okay, so whip time. Actually, let me get comfortable. I've slipped down on the sofa. tea. So I have a couple of whips that I'm going to show off that I've been working on. And the first one is a sock from my mama bear. These are Kinkle Zigzag Fab Feet, James C. Brett Fab Feet. Oh darn. I think I had the label and now I think I binned it. I think it's James C. Brett Fab Feet. Funky Feet? Oh, I'm useless. But I have put in a contrasting cuff. I'll put in a contrasting toe. I've made it slightly longer because most people don't like socks as short as I do. And I have done, for the first time, vanilla is the new black heel. I have now located my longer sock cable. So I'm going to slip that on a cable, onto a longer cable, and I'm going to try this on to see how the heel affects the fit of the sock. My mum has smaller feet than me, and because of this heel, and I don't know how it sits on the foot, I'm not sure how much longer I need to knit this sock for. So I recently refound, it's what happens when you have so many whips and you hide them all over the house, or not hide, but place them over the house. I recently found my longer sock cable and my sock, excuse me, sock ruler. So at some point I will get this onto the longer cable and then try it on and see how this heel sits on the foot. And then from there I can see how much longer I need to knit this before I do the toe. And then hopefully I will have enough for the second sock. I should. I hope. But yep. So that is my first whip. The more I look at this yarn, the more I'm like, yep, this is definitely the James C. Brett sock yarn and not Kinkle. Definitely James C. Brett, but I can't remember if it's Fab Feet or Funky Feet. Or Fab Funky Feet. Or Funky Fab Feet. I'll stop. But yep, this is for my mum. And then I only have 4 whips. That's good for me considering the number I've brought into 2022. The next whip is, I think this is the front. This is the Boron Sweater by Anna Freiberg, who is Yarnistry on social medias. I will link her below and where you can get the patterns and everything, but I think she's only on Ravelry, but you can contact her if you cannot access Ravelry. So the Boron Sweater has this really great shoulder detail. I feel like I want to put the light on, but the lights are behind me, so it's not really going to help me out here. But the Boron Sweater has this really amazing cable detail on the shoulders going into the arms. The rest of the sweater is just plain stockinette, and it's really, really beautiful having that contrast between this intricate, beautiful detail and then a nice plain body. So it really kind of draws your attention to the sleeves. This is knit on, I am knitting this in Aran weight yarn. I did do a swatch, and this is the yarn I'm using. So this is Woolcraft Aran Knitting. It is 75% acrylic, 25% new wool, and there is 800 meters. I'm doing it in shade 903, and it has tweedy flecks in it, and I think this is really, really nice. So I'm hoping now that all my Christmas crafts are done in my obligation knitting, that I can just work on this and have this finished, because it will still be cold here until like March, April, so I still have plenty of time to get it done and wear. So that went on the back burner because I had Christmas presents to finish and I really needed to get those done. So the hat for my mum, the mittens for Scott, socks for Kirsty, and the blankets for the girls. So, oh, the wind's picking up again. We had really horrible weather last night into the new year. Like, horrible weather. So yep, the Boron Sweater went on the back burner, but now those gifts are done and I can pick up whatever project I want now. Okay, so let's talk about this one. This is a mammoth project. This is my Marled Magic sweater. Tale of woe. Not really, but I cast this project on exactly 1 year ago today. This was part of a knit along with my friend Amy, and she has finished hers, I think, and I am on section 11 of 14. It's a pain to work on. I'm not loving it, but I'm not hating it. And I'm on the fence. I think once I've finished it and it actually looks like a top and I can wear it, my attitude will change. But for now, let's see. This is basically, oh, dropping the bag. The project. I'm starting to get the shaping. So on this section, you're joining two sections together, or yeah. So well, I don't know how that's going to work. So apparently you're joining these two sections together, but then I've got like, oh, well, I'm decreasing, so maybe that's how. Seed stitch, also not my favourite thing in the world. Not the worst when you've got a movie on, but not my favourite. And you're joining it to this green section just now, and you're decreasing at the other side, so maybe that's how it joins together like that, and then maybe that becomes a sleeve. I don't understand this project. I'm really trusting the pattern right now because I don't understand. Oh. Right, where are we? So this is how it's gonna look. It's a bit crazy, I know. I know this is not everyone's taste. It's maybe not even mine. But I've spent a year working on it. Maybe not consecutively, but I've spent a year working on it. I will wear it. Maybe just in the house though. So I'm not understanding this project. I don't know how it's going to work and how it's going to look. But we're going with it. We're rolling with it. And I just hope that eventually it makes sense. If not, I'm going to have to find someone that has completed it. Amy, if you have, help. But yeah, maybe I just need to work on it a bit more and, you know, actually finish all the sections before I'm like throwing up that white flag saying, I give up. But yeah, hopefully I get it done really soon. I don't want to keep it on the needles much longer. But the sections are big. It's a heavy this is a heavy project. This will definitely keep me warm. But it's not something I'm really rushing to work on because I don't understand it. It's heavy and it's big. So when I work on it, I tend to keep like this half in the project bag, or at least just constantly on my lap, and then I'll just flip the work over. I think there's like 3 sets of needles in this. Yeah, so there's a cable here, my working stitches, and then I've got this on a needle. Like, this was a section I just finished, which is brioche, and it's so squishy. I love it. But yeah, there's like three sets of live stitches basically on the go right now, which is crazy. But yeah, hopefully done soon. Okay, I have one other project to show you, and it's one you haven't seen, and it is a brand new project. You haven't seen it up till now. I haven't even shown it on Vlogmas if you watched my Vlogmas episodes or series. And this is a project I've wanted to start, but I've held off on because of how many blanket projects I actually have on the go right now. I have 5 blanket projects that's about to become 6. And I'll explain in a minute. So, because I have so many blanket projects on the go, I was really on the fence about starting another one. And all joking aside, with like my friend Teresa and I kind of being like, right, no more blankets, you are barred from making blankets. There's something really comforting about a blanket project. And all these beautiful minis that I was getting from my friend Ellen were just sitting on my desk. I was accumulating them separately from my yarn advents. And they were all sitting on my work desk, so I was seeing them every day. I was opening them up every day during Advent, and I was just like, I really want to do the Coziest Memories blanket, or Cozy Memories blankets, whichever one you call. And we're heading to my future mother-in-law's for Christmas dinner. We went to her house to cook for her so that she didn't have to leave the house. We were very safe. We done tests before we went. I don't think I hugged her. Maybe Scott did. But we were very, very safe about it all. And I needed a project to take with me, but I didn't want to take what I already had on the needles because she is a smoker. And to me, her house smells of smoke. Scott doesn't notice it as much because he sees her a lot more than I do, and it's in her house a lot more than I am. But I smell it, and I come back smelling of smoke, and I didn't want projects for other people to smell like smoke. And I know that's almost going to be like, but Kirsty, this project would smell of smoke. It doesn't, thank God. So I cast on a Cozy Memories blanket. So I started with this square here, and I worked all of that, and now I'm on another row. This is maybe not the length I'm going to stick with. I think I'm going to make it longer, but I just wanted to start another row. And I am loving this project. This project makes me very happy. But I think my momentum is going to really slow down on this project. And that's just because I do want to work on other things, and blankets take an awfully long time, so it's not like I can throw all this energy into it and it's going to be finished anytime soon. I could maybe get it to like a lap blanket and then slow down, but I reckon if I get a square a week done, I'll be happy. And I'll explain why I'm not going to aim for like a square a day. So, firstly, I said I was going to explain how I'm going to be going up to 6 blankets. I'm not going to go into the yarns. I don't know who they are. The only one I know for a fact is this end one, which is Ovis Yarns, and this was from my own scraps. And then the green that I'm working with, that is Ellen's own yarn. The orange is a dyer that no longer does dyeing. So that one, actually all this second row apart from that pink are yarns I have from my own stash, and then the only ones from the first row that were from my own stash was that one and then this last one. Everything else is from Ellen, and I don't know who they are from, and I don't care because they're all yarns from her, which is the gift. Okay, that rambling aside, I will be going up to 6 blanket projects because I am making 2 blankets this year for babies. Both babies are due in March. Both babies are due on exactly the same day. And no, they do not know each other. The mothers, that is. Of course the babies don't know each other. So, if you will remember, and I could reach and show you, but I'm comfortable and I'm drinking tea. I started a hexagon a day, crochet a day, whatever we were calling it, where in my case I was crocheting a hexagon a day, and to make it the weather's changing. Maybe I should have gone out for a walk before I recorded. Where you crochet something a day, just one small tiny thing a day, and make it a habit. The habit did not extend past the month that we were doing it, but I need to pick it back up. So I work with a really lovely lady. I love her to pieces, and she has 3 daughters and a son. I have made a blanket for the son's baby that they had last year, little Alfie, and then for one of her daughters, my work colleague's daughters, I crocheted a nurse during the height of the very start of the pandemic, because her daughter was struggling and she was a key worker and she was generally just in a really crappy stage in her life and really struggling. So I made her a crochet nurse doll and she loved it. She really appreciated it. And she is due in March. She's having her 2nd kid. And I really wanted to make her something just to remind her that people care and she's appreciated. And she really loves handmade stuff. So I'm making her a blanket. And then one of my other work colleagues, she had a really, really tough time, and it's not my story to tell, but she is now pregnant and is due her little boy in March. And I reached out and I said, would you accept a blanket if I made one for you? And she was like, oh my god, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm making her one, but I don't have the yarn yet. I ordered the yarn while it was on sale, and I'm hoping to get it soon. So I'm going to have 2 blankets I'm going to be really working on soon, because 2 months is really not a long time, because I think they're due right at the start of March. So 2 months is not a long time to make 2 blankets, but thankfully they are baby blankets and not the size of that one. So that is some future crafting. And then today, my knitting project and my knitting virtual group and I are going to be casting on a shawl. I'm going to be casting on the Frank shawl by Joji Locatelli, and I bought this pattern start of December, and we were all going to try and aim for like the same shawl, but I wanted a shawl that I already had the pattern for, because Scott and I are really saving up now. We're really kind of knuckling down and trying to get that money saved up for the wedding and the house and the honeymoon. And I want an iPad. I want to get back to my drawing. So yeah, I wanted a shawl that I already had the pattern for, so that I don't have to spend more money. And other people had this kind of similar idea, but I think in the long run we've all just decided to do a shawl along instead of the Frank shawl along, etc. So we're all casting on today, and I need to pick out the yarn and cast on, which is going to be lovely. I don't have any other immediate plans to cast on other things but I still have projects in yarn with the pattern all in a box upstairs ready to go should I need another project. But right now, considering I now realise how many whips I'm carrying into this year, I really don't think I should be casting on too much more. So I've got 6 minutes left on this recording, so I'm going to try and get all of that out before, so I don't have to hit the button again. But I am planning on copying Deborah yet again, because she is smart cookie, and doing a kind of whip bingo, but slightly different. So I'm going to write down the names of the projects that I have, or a description of the project if it doesn't have a name, and I'm going to cut those bits of paper up and put them in a jar, and I'm randomly going to pull one out at a time. And I've yet to decide the duration that I'm going to spend on that project. So it could be a week, it could be a month, it could be work on it until it's complete. And I'm going to do that for every single one of the whips that I have, including all the blankets. And I'm going to pick one out, probably starting tomorrow. And again, depends on the item, like the duration that I'm going to spend on it. Like if it's a blanket, I'm not going to work on it until it's complete unless it's a baby blanket. So I might be like, right, okay, for this week only, I'm going to work on this project. That kind of idea. Or for the likes of the underwing mittens that I've still to complete, I'm going to work on these until they're complete. So it really depends on the project, the duration that I'm going to work on this. But that's my idea. It is by no means an original idea. There are a ton of other people that have had a similar, if not that exact idea. So I'm going to work on that today. But I'm also going to cast on the Frank shawl. I'm really going to start working on these baby blankets because, again, 2 months, not a very long time. But I've pulled out all my whips and now I need to find places to store said whips. So that's going to be my other task for today. But otherwise, I think we're just going to take it nice and easy, stick on a film. I have asked Scott if he would kindly peel some carrots and potatoes. I'm going to make a big pot of soup. And yeah, that is my start to the new year. So I really hope that if you're making resolutions, that you can stick them out as long as possible and you can achieve them, and whatever goals you're setting for the year. Scott and I are setting some goals that we're not really going to tell anyone about because they're just like our private goals. So yeah, I really hope 2022 is a good year for you. I am looking forward to it a lot. And yeah, I think I'm going to do a no spend year. And that's because I can't spend money. I have a wedding to save up for. I really can't be spending money on stuff I don't need. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and do like a no spend year, with the exception of obviously needing to buy groceries and stuff for the flat. Like when I say stuff for the flat, like detergent, cleaning stuff, that kind of thing. I do need to buy a new pair of trainers. So that's the only thing I need to buy in the next month or two. So yeah, I'm going to try for a no spend year. Certainly have no intentions of buying any amount of yarn. I have got an order from Amo Yarns that will be coming end of January. I think I finished paying it up, if not February. So I do have some yarn that will be coming in. But I'm really going to try and work through stash so that I'm not spending money. And I kind of want to make this the year of garments. Not the year of blankets, surprisingly enough. But yeah, I would like to make it the year of garments and a no spend year, and I would like to work on my whips. Those are my crafting goals. So let me know in the comments below if you have any crafting goals or if you're making any resolutions this year. And I really hope 2022 is a good year for all of us. And apologies if I've said 2020 or 2021 at any point. I really do mean 2022. It's just one of those days. Well, until next time, I hope you all stay safe, and thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz. And I'll leave my social media links down below in the description box as well. Until next time, stay safe everybody. Bye.